If these guys don't clean their teeth, it probably means they have smelly balls. Next.
Hey everybody, it's me, Ian. You remember me, right? It's been a little while since my last video, but I promise there's a good reason for that. I've been working on a very large project that's kind of ballooned in size. I thought I would get it done this month, but now I'm not so sure. So today I just want to make a smaller video just for fun, because it's been a little while. But someday soonish, I'm going to upload a very long video and it will be clear what I've been wasting all of this time on, so look forward to that. Today though, I just want to hang out and talk about a television show that I was recently reminded of. But before we talk about the show, let's talk about the network that it aired on, MTV. Music television. I want my MTV. It's my MTV, and I want it now. Now, Wikipedia divides the channel's history up into 19 different sections, but in my own brain, MTV has had 3 very distinct chapters. Chapter 1, The Beginnings, is when they were focused on playing music videos and not much else. It's called music television, so they were focused on putting music on television. It makes sense to me. I didn't watch the channel during this time period, but historians suggest that it was an iconic moment in music history, and also that it's really cool to brag about it if you did watch the station during that time.
MTV's been taken over by tweens, and this elite squad's gonna help us get it back to where it was.
Now, if we skip ahead to chapter 3 of this story, current MTV, there's no music videos to be found. I'm not even sure if MTV stands for music television in the year 2020. In fact, when you Google MTV, the first thing that comes up is MTV's Best Reality TV. So right now they're really focused on reality programming, and despite my genuine love for the genre, I don't really pay much attention to the shows on MTV. I know they got a bunch of teen mom shows. I kind of view it as the Teen Mom TV channel right now. Today we're gonna focus on a show from the middle chapter, Chapter 2, the only time I really ever watched MTV. It was during the time when they were making that first real push into reality TV and talk shows. Back then, the internet was really poppin', and it became apparent that we really didn't need a TV channel that just played music videos anymore. Like it or not, the heads of the station realized that if they didn't start putting something other than music videos on the screen, people were gonna stop watching.
Thank you for this award, MTV. And like I said, play more damn videos. We don't want to see The Simpsons on reality television. Play more videos.
So it was around this time that I was tuning into MTV. I'm talking early 2000s. From 1995 to 2000, MTV played 36.5% fewer music videos, and while the 90s had some notable non-reality series from the network, the early 2000s seemed to be when the garbage shows really started to get more screen time. In fact, there's one show that really encapsulates how I viewed the network at the time, and that's 2006's Yo Mama. Wikipedia actually sums up the show really nicely in just one sentence here. Yo Mama is an American television show based upon insulting one's mother. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
His mama's so fat she can hear bacon cooking in Canada. Your mama's so old, her memory in black and white. I'm the champ, I'm here. Peace. Did you come to say your mama jokes or tap dance? I'm the champ, I'm here.
Now, I'm not gonna be talking about this show today because, quite frankly, Yo Mama's so fat she ate all of my Yo Mama VHS tapes. So instead, we're gonna take a look at Next, a dating game show that also heavily features insult comedy.
Your shirt's stupid.
Nice, nice.
And you're stupid in general.
Good one, good one.
Everyone you know is stupid.
Want to take it in the ring?
Next isn't just a dating show, it's a speed dating show where a main contestant gets the chance to go on blind dates with up to 5 other daters who are all delivered right to them in the infamous Next bus.
I'm Adam, I'm 24, and I won't even notice if this girl has a good personality, because I'm gonna be staring at her boobs.
One by one, the daters exit the bus and go on a date with the main contestant, who can end the dates at literally any moment for any reason by yelling out, "Next!"
Hey, what's up, Jugs?
Wow.
I know I look this good.
Next.
The daters in the bus also have a second motive, because each minute they spend on a date with the main contestant, they earn $1. $1 single dollar. If two people actually make it to the end of the date, the main contestant asks the winning dater if they'd like to go on a second date sometime, or if they'd rather take the money and run. The money is possibly the greatest part of this premise because it's so pointless. We're talking grand prizes of 50, maybe 60 bucks at most. 90 if you're really lucky. The highest I've seen is $97. And even then, if you get that far, you gotta choose between the money and going on a second date. Like, what's stopping someone from taking the money and also going on a second date? Are they gonna hunt me down and run me over with the next bus?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Well, today you're going to be going up against Chelsea, a professional stunt dog, in a doggy agility test.
The dates that they plan on this show always seem to be two-parters. The first part is always some wacky challenge or event, something very unromantic that you have to get through before you can even really talk to the main contestant.
Wait a second. Chelsea's totally kicking your butt. Next.
As you can imagine, this ends to a lot of really short dates, which is kind of the point. The more people you see an episode, the better an episode.
What the Next.
Too bad you couldn't handle the dickie.
Bye, no, just go.
The actual dating, like the two people forming a connection together, which you would think would be the main focus of a dating show, is completely swept aside. In fact, it barely gets any screen time at all.
$73 isn't really worth it because I like you, and we should definitely go on the second date.
If two people ever fell in love on this show, I guarantee you that that footage did not make the cut, because Next is less about dating and more about, I don't know, one-liners?
I like a guy who's a little ghetto because you know Miss Charity's always down for some thug love.
An all-encompassment of this girl? Let me think. Oh yeah, she sucks.
I'm Anirudh, I'm 23, and once again, I'm bringing sexy back.
I'm Justin, I'm 19, and I'm black and Italian, so I may be the first real Italian stallion.
Muchachos, show me your cojones!
Every single line in this show is clearly scripted, or at least has some type of producer influence behind it.
Like my tia Consuelo always tells me, if you don't want to chuck 'em. Claro que sí.
I don't know why I got nexted, but I know she's a cruel, cruel woman.
Everyone's always zinging these jokes and one-liners around, but no one ever manages to make it actually sound like it was their own original thought.
So you know a lot about planets and things like that.
I like to think so, yeah.
What about Uranus?
What about it?
Are there a lot of rings around Uranus?
There's rings.
Almost no effort or thought put into it whatsoever. It's stuff you'd hear high schoolers say.
I'm Mark, I'm 22, my nickname is Lil Mark. Well, I'm big where it counts, baby.
It's stuff that would get celebrities in trouble on Twitter nowadays.
Because I'm gonna be staring at her boobs.
It's all just trash, garbage, every single line. And I love it. I love it so much.
I'm Adam, I'm 24, and I made $1 last time. So this time, I'd like to at least match that.
I think the tone of Next is what really does it for me, because there's all these jokes, so many of them are so far over the line.
I'm sorry, but I'm not about spoon-fed Flintstone.
Caveman no like fake tan.
That it goes from being genuinely insulting to intentionally gratuitous.
Stephanie's boobs were surgically enhanced, which was too evolutionarily advanced.
Oh my god. That guy did not want to play with Barbie's plastic parts. Natalie, you're up next.
Every single person on this show gets insulted, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually seem offended. It's kind of like a roast.
You flashed them?
A few times.
Do you ever feel stanky flashing your boobs all the time?
No, because they're not really mine.
Everyone seems like they're in on the joke, just hanging out and making a trashy MTV show together. It seems like fun, honestly. I would have loved to ride in the next bus.
How are you? My name is Sean.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to next you. You're just not tall enough.
I'm still waiting for that growth spurt, but
good luck with that.
Add in the fact that the producers will clearly plant characters in the next bus, like,
I'm Eddie, I'm 20, and I'm hot enough to get away with saying that I love Ryan Seacrest.
This episode where a really flamboyant guy goes on a date with a girl and makes a bunch of closet puns.
Like my whole room is just like a big closet.
So, how much clothes do you own?
Like they know what they're doing.
I'm gonna have to say next.
Don't worry, I'm tough. Allison, you should have picked me. You could have bought some of my t-shirts.
Eddie was more flame-broiled than my hamburger.
Now, I'm not endorsing the jokes made on this show, but I am laughing at them, and I know that makes me terrible in some regard, but they're just so blunt sometimes, I can't help it.
Married with children? Come on, please. He couldn't even make it past the first date.
I like stuff that looks worn in and used. Vanessa was perfect for me.
It's offensive, and that's the point. You know, it also kind of reminds me of Drag Race when they all stand around and insult each other. Same kind of vibe.
Go home. Matter of fact, go home. Next.
He wasn't just ugly, he was ugly.
When I say go along, that doesn't mean just stand there, you big dummy.
There's just absolutely no depth. You don't get to know any of these people at all outside of a little info card that pops up and says things like, idolizes Ryan Seacrest, terrified of large, mean women, and fantasizes about The Little Mermaid, does his homework while pooping, builds military defense satellites, scared of birds, nicknamed Tiny Nuts. Yeah, this show is great. There were 288 episodes of Next produced, but there was never a physical release, and only a handful of episodes seem to exist online. And it's a real shame because I would easily purchase a complete DVD collection. You could even do a collector's edition and make the case look like the Next bus. It would be awesome. MTV, are you listening? I don't want my MTV, I just want Next on DVD.
I'm so sad right now. She was exactly what I would do if I built a woman.
But really, if I'm being honest, if you've seen one episode of Next, you've basically seen them all. So let's just go ahead and dissect an entire episode of Next.
I'm Grady, I'm 20, I'm going to the circus, and I'm looking for a freak.
Each episode begins by introducing us to the main contestant as well as the daters they'll be choosing from. It seems like almost every episode starts out strong just because it's a blast getting to meet the contestants.
I'll just go ahead and say it. Kirby girls make my junk twitch.
That wasn't clever at all. That was just gross. I should note that I haven't actually seen this episode yet. I saved one for us to look at fresh, and I'm very excited to see who gets the pleasure of going on a date with this guy.
If a girl's got a flat butt, I'll make some pancakes and then call next.
The 5 ladies getting a shot at love with this fine gentleman are Ashley.
I'm Ashley, I'm 20, I'll win because I worked at Hooters and now my Hooters work for me.
Jamie.
I'm from Kentucky, and I hope this guy's thicker than my accent.
Danny.
I'll let this guy have fun with Danny's fanny.
Jessica.
I love to ski, so I hope this guy's ready for a snow bunny.
And my personal favorite, Kimmy.
I'm Kimmy, I'm 21, and I gotta admit that I like to text people when I make poopy.
Can we see it again? Can we see that again?
I'm Kimmy, I'm 21, and I gotta admit that I like to text people when I make poopy.
It's her smile that gets me. She looks so proud of herself. And you know what? I'm proud of her too.
I like to text people when I make poopy.
That might be the best thing I've ever seen on this show. I hope she gets more screen time.
The girls are giving their 2 cents. Grady's presenting some big events. Step on up, ladies and gents, to the Next bus.
Have I mentioned the rhyming yet? The narrator will often rhyme for no discernible reason.
Hunter seemed like a sweet little guy, which is why Vanessa said bye-bye. Ben tried again and again, but Chelsea proved dogs catch better than men. Will Adam be able to go the distance? Or will Danielle knock this date out of existence?
Maybe they thought the narration was too boring without it, or maybe they thought that their target age demographic would also enjoy Dr. Seuss.
Who do you think's gonna win? Kimmy, with her nice big ass. Thanks a lot.
This is a big part of the show that I haven't really touched on yet. There are a lot of segments where the daters are just kind of hanging out in the next bus chatting. Most of these interactions seem pre-planned, and there's skits, games, and sexy photo shoots. If one of the daters ends up getting really far on a date, they'll add in more of these bus segments to kind of balance it out.
Ashley's first to meet Grady. She plans to be his lady, but for others hope he finds her shady and says next.
I just want to be really clear that there's a lot, and I mean a lot, of rhyming. The producers are clearly fans of classic poetry.
This guy can kiss my ass.
Whoa, Ashley, chill. I added that censor bar, by the way. That is one suggestive butt. Ashley, 20 years of age, collects Starburst wrappers, idolizes Bob Barker, and pooped in a box and mailed it to her ex-boyfriend. Maybe Circus Boy will find love, despite all odds. Also, a lot of poop jokes early on. I hope this isn't a theme.
I make poopy.
It's time for the first date, and we already know that it's going to be circus-themed. Ashley gets into costume, and I just want to point out here how even the most basic of conversation can feel very scripted.
So how do I look?
You look great. You ready to go to the circus?
Yeah, let's do it.
Did that feel real to anybody?
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, I don't doubt that these two people had some genuine moments while filming Next together, but the footage that ends up on screen often ends up feeling heavily directed. And I'm cool with that. It's part of the show's charm. So the date in this episode is actually really cool. Ashley gets to command a tiger. How many of you can say that you've commanded a tiger before? Not many.
Not doing a very good job.
Kitty, hop.
He's supposed to be jumping, not walking. Next!
You're not immediately great at commanding predatory felines? Well, then how am I supposed to love you? Every time someone gets nexted on the show, the contestant and the dater that was nexted get one last shot to take a punch at each other. Not a real punch.
Grady? More like Grody. Ew.
I'm taking craps that are less boring than that girl.
What's with all the poop jokes this episode? Someone on set is writing a lot of poop jokes. Next up is Jamie, 21. She worked waxing slides at a water park, imitates Darth Vader perfectly, and she wants to get veneers. Unless I get to hear that Darth Vader impression, that's a pretty boring info card.
Will Grady think Jamie looks great? Or will her outfit mean the end of this date? Find out next.
You look gorgeous.
Jamie does a lot better at the tiger commanding than Ashley did. The tiger is jumping around and Grady is loving it.
Good job. Looks like she likes you. Wow, you're a good animal trainer. You got Katie to do a trick. Are you ready for your next challenge?
So Jamie's made it to phase 2 of the date, so let's take a moment to check in with the other girls in the next bus.
While you were gone, the three of us made a bet whether or not your boobs are real.
Yes, they are real.
Knew it! Somebody owes me money.
I'm not paying $5. You have to prove it.
Okay, come touch him.
Nothing really interesting going on in here. Pretty boring. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah! So now Grody is having Jamie walk a tightrope, which she does pretty well.
Good job.
Well enough to stay in the game at least and move on to the final phase of this romantic date.
Did I do a good job?
You did.
Wow, thank you.
So this wouldn't be a circus without candy apples. You ready to go get some?
They're eating some candy apples and having romantic moments, I guess.
You look like a rocker.
Yeah, I try.
I like your hair.
I like that hat. It's attractive.
I look like a leprechaun.
Now this part feels real to me. When a date gets far enough along and the two people actually have a chance to sit down and chat, you usually get a small glimpse into some real dialogue, but it's never very much. Back in the next bus, the girls are also having what sounds like some natural dialogue as Ashley tells a story about a time she made out in a sushi restaurant.
For some odd reason, I just felt like his tongue was like a fish, and I threw up in his mouth. Oh.
You've been on this date 77 minutes, which means you made $77. You could either go on a second date with me or take the money and get out of here.
Jamie has done the impossible after bonding with Grody over a love of poetry.
So I like to write as well. I write poetry.
Poetry always makes like the best lyrics, so it's good.
She has reached the end of this 77-minute long date. Now, before the dater makes their decision between taking the cash and going on a second date, they have a flashback sequence, which is usually pretty great.
Poetry always makes like the best lyrics, so it's good. Good job, looks like she likes you. I like that hat, it's attractive.
Like a leprechaun. Well.
It's true love, we all saw it.
You are extremely hot. I love your blue eyes. So of course I'll take a second date with you.
Aw, I think they're gonna make it.
Hey, Jamie, how could you date that circus freak?
So that was a close look at a full episode of Next. And like I said earlier, if you've seen one episode, you've kind of seen them all. Not necessarily in a bad way, they're just very formulaic. They follow very specific patterns. In fact, as I was watching any episode that I could get my hands on in preparation for this video, I started making a list of the keys to Next's success. Next success. To create a successful episode of Next, the following ingredients are required. A bus, contestants, some type of strange activity or challenge.
She's gonna be telling you what I'm gonna be wearing for the party, and you're gonna bring it to me.
All right.
Oh, and she only speaks Spanish.
Está bien.
¿Hablas español?
Muy pequeño.
Muy pequeño.
Chiquito.
Poquito.
Chiquito.
¿Eres chiquito?
El chiquito.
Puns and rhymes.
Eric had to take a stroll, cause él no habla español. Justin's love of cigarettes made him a butthead.
Ugly jokes, sex jokes, and dick jokes.
I made $4. I guess I am a hick.
I'd rather be with the hick than look at his tiny
That's about it. You might be surprised to hear this, but the most important ingredient is actually the last one. You need multiple dick jokes an episode. They're basically the foundation of Next's pyramid of comedy.
I'm Alex, I'm 18, and this guy won't say next when he sees my package.
I'm Carl, I'm 21, and I play college baseball, so I can't wait to show this girl my big bat.
Too bad you couldn't handle the dickie.
To finalize my thoughts on MTV's Next, I'm gonna say that it serves as a great time capsule that showcases young adults in the early 2000s. You get to see so many different people, and the time period is infamous for its awful fashion trends, all of which are on full display. It's also consistently funny, and it's got this reckless, low-budget vibe that a lot of the shows of that time period have. For some reason, Reno 911 comes to mind. MXC, I bet these shows were all made around the same time period. They also all have that roast vibe, intentionally raunchy and offensive, and maybe I've just got my head in the sand when it comes to current comedies, but I feel like we're in an era where people are a little bit more careful about what they're saying, even in comedy. I'm not here to argue the merits of offensive humor, it's just an observation of how comedy changes with time. Next is a show that's loaded with moments that make you say, would that air today?
Sorry, girl. You could have some of this white chocolate right here, girl.
And it makes me feel weirdly nostalgic. Oh, also, I was gonna bring this up earlier on in the video, but didn't find the room. There's an episode of Workaholics that's based on Next, and it's one of my favorites. It's called Termidate, and while the mechanics of the dating show are different in the episode, it's pretty clearly a tribute to Next, and it's great. Okay, that's it. Let me know how you liked this little series overview because I really enjoyed putting it together and I would love to do another. I watch a lot of TV. There are a lot of TV shows that I could talk about in this format. So let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to be back soon eventually with something a little ridiculous. So, I'll see you then.
I'm Kimmy, I'm 21, and I gotta admit that I like to text people when I make poopy.